And where I first came, 50% of the population was already dead. The center that we opened was in a town that had held 1,000 people, but by the time we got there were only 5 people left alive. It's big. And then also, besides being a medical thing to learn to deal with, learn to treat in a bush setting where people said there was no way to treat it, it's also, of course, it binds you to the community. You become part of the community once you've watched so many people come in, many to die because the numbers were so big. But yeah, it's an amazing thing. Kala-Azar is also an amazing disease because when you get sick with Kala-Azar, you get immune compromised, so you get sick with many other diseases, regular infectious diseases as well as tropical infectious diseases. So it certainly was a huge thing to have to treat. And we still have outbreaks of Kala-Azar. I still get called to go other places to help people with treating Kala-Azar. 2 years ago, actually even last year, we had an outbreak. We treated more people here than any other facility in South Sudan for Kala-Azar. We're very blessed this year not to have had an outbreak, but we still have many people under treatment. And focusing on that really is what I spend lots of my time doing. I've trained a lot of people to also help treat the disease. So lots of the treatment can go on without me being necessarily immediately present. But it's very big. Towards the end of the big outbreak that I came to Sudan for, we were also noticing a lot of very sick people that came in. And we, of course, realized that now we're in the middle of seeing people with TB. And there's a little bit of difference when people come in. In both diseases, people come in with fevers and very malnourished. But with TB, people come in with bright eyes, still wanting to eat, still really with us rather than looking like they're about to die because they feel so crummy. And that's one of the things about TB that's different. It's a much more chronic disease in this area than Kala-Azar, which is much more acute in South Sudan, unlike other places in the world. And that type of a chronic disease does give you a chance to do a good job. We decided to try to treat TB. Unfortunately, the war was raging around us, and I was working with Doctors Without Borders, who had a mandate to treat Kala-Azar and do primary health care. So to make the two merge was quite difficult. And then there were some places that weren't considered stable enough. When we left, the people there said, "Dr. Jill, you've saved us from dying from Kala-Azar, and we will never forget you. But now we are dying of TB, you never forget us." And this is sort of a big thing when you're leaving an area. We actually went to North Sudan for a couple of years because there was a Kala-Azar outbreak in North Sudan. Interestingly, part of that outbreak was because of the famine years ago had caused a lot of people from Darfur to move into Gadaref state in northern Sudan, and they moved into a Kala-Azar area and then all became sick. While we were there during that outbreak, the people from the south came up to seek care again, people with Kala-Azar who were working there, but also people from the political south who were in the political south who came and begged us to come back and treat TB. And so that's how our program was born. We decided that as two crazy ladies, we could try treating TB in the middle of a war to see if it worked, and we wouldn't risk anything except our own personal reputation, which wasn't an issue, of course. And so we were very fortunate that we weren't too unsuccessful and it was able to work. And as you know, of course, all the NGOs now and WHO now are very behind TB treatment. So TB treatment is going on all over South Sudan. In our little corner here, that's what we do alongside Kala-Azar.